The perimeter's quiet.
Yeah, a little too quiet.
Come on. Well, that was easy.
Yeah, a little too easy.
Look, it's Raph.
Yeah, a little too Raph. You guys, knock it off.
I'm all the way up. All the way up. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up. Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up.
What up, guys? You remember this guy? It's your boy Jair, aka dripmode, and I am finally back after 2 months of being MIA. Guys, I've been really busy with this cave. Don't you notice? It's pretty condensed here now. So I'm doing some big changes. That showroom has to calm down. So been working on consolidating the collection so everything is in here. Not everything made it into this collection. They're in storage, and some of those items I'm gonna keep, so when I get a bigger house I'll be able to reveal those toys again. But other items I'm gonna be selling them on eBay or maybe on Instagram, so hit me up if you guys are interested in any of the items I'm gonna be selling. Now another thing too is it's been 5 years that I've been into this hobby, started the channel, started this collection, and man, I've been going through a lot of different journeys. And if you notice in the beginning intro, I'm introducing chapter 3. Chapter 1 was me in the apartment when I first started, and then chapter 2 was when I bought this house right before the pandemic, and now chapter 3, and just being able to reflect and start back from the basics of where I started. If you notice, this is very similar to the format I had when I first started the channel, where everything was in one room, and to see everything here, it's making me feel like back to where I started from. So it feels good. So I think it's time to introduce chapter 3. So today we're going to be focusing on a small project, a small diorama prop. But first I'm going to talk about the item that I think all of us got not that long ago. Let me show you what's up. Boom! Here is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Part 2 Secret of the Ooze accessory set. Now, this accessory box has all the items that reference the Part 2 movie. Now, the one item that I was particularly getting excited for, and it's just a simple prop, Raphael's head, where he's a little too Raph. Now, I was looking forward to this because, I wanted to build him, tied to that pole. And I think it's a pretty cool scene. It's pretty funny as well. And I've also been seeing a lot of my friends actually building this already. Turtle Boy 83 and also Des Machine. Go check out their version. Came out amazing. So it motivated me to also take an attempt at this project as well. So that's what today's video is going to be about, is making a little 2Raph diorama. Now let me show you the items that I'm going to be using. I'm going to be experimenting with some different platforms. This is the platform that my boys were using a square, but I'm deciding to use a circular base. Now here I got 2 different bases. I'm trying to figure out which one is probably going to be the best for what I want to build. And I'm kind of going on the bigger one. We got the pole where Raph is going to be tied to. Find this suction cup for hanging things. You can put, hooks in your bathroom or in your kitchen. So I like this top part. It replicates that lamp. Got some wire for the wiring of the lamp. LED wireless light here. It's gonna be pretty cool. I may experiment with this guy right here. And some rope. So these are some of the items. And yeah, trying to get back into the basics and have fun building this. So this is what today's video is going to be about, is building a diorama for a little 2Raph here. Alright guys, so like I always say, let's get to it. Alright, so let's start playing. So the first thing that popped in my mind was the base. Now other people are using square base, and with the circular piece it could be a standalone piece. 2 things that I'm thinking about here is, if I'm just gonna really just build him on a stick, on the pole, this is enough space for that scene. Just put the additional sticks, the floor, the pole, the lamp, and a little bit of debris. You know, it's not really so much different from here. It's just that now you have additional real estate, and we could start thinking about maybe Donatello, you know, being part of this diorama, you know, where he's trying to untangle him from the pole. I chose this time to use wood just because I really wanted a strong base, and that because I'm gonna screw this pole onto this base, I'm gonna need something sturdy. Now I could have used foam like we always use in the other projects. You could get creative and not make it a circle and just kind of make it just random, right? Just like if you're taking a piece of the ground out of the floor, you could do that as well. So I'm gonna be using wood. That's what this is definitely different from what I'm using in other dioramas. Like, now we got our position. Next, now we're gonna screw this guy in there. Okay. Boom. Mission accomplished. Perfect. Alright, so I'm experimenting on this wood piece that's so simple. Just because I don't have balsa wood, so my alternative to making wood is foam, but I also want to experiment to see if this is also a good alternative. And good alternative. Here you can see both of them. They both are pretty good. Probably gonna go with this one. This looks accurate. Because it's wood, I'm gonna just use prime spray paint just to get through this faster before I start applying all the details. Alright guys, so next is the ground. The ground is dirt, sand, however you want to call it, but it's a junkyard. I have this earth texture. I used this on the King Kong Godzilla diorama, also on the Princess Bride. It really gives you that earth texture, and that's what it is, earth texture. So gonna be applying that as a base, but also gonna experiment with, I have sand. Alright, so I'm just gonna start dabbing. It looks pretty good as a base. Now I really want to play and see if me adding the sand will make it better or worse. Let me see. This is not gonna, the paint's not gonna, you know, make it stick. So we're gonna have to, you know, Mod Podge, water down so it grabs the particles. Then we could go again with another round of that earth. Alright, so I'm gonna get some Mod Podge, gonna put it in a cup, and then we're gonna get some water. Alrighty, so this is how it should look right now. It will dry up and the whiteness will definitely clear up. But what it's doing is that it's grabbing all those particles and it's really sealing it in, you know. Okay, so I'm gonna wait for that one to dry up. To dry, I'm gonna start painting the pole. So using nutmeg brown as a base, I'm gonna start painting the pole. Alright, so while the bases are drying, I'm going to start priming these experimental wooden planks that are going to be supporting the pole. I'm going to start priming it with some Mod Podge. I mix it with black, so it could be a black Mod Podge. and just give it, you know, maybe 1 or 2 coats and let it dry so that we could start painting those as well. So let's start painting these. Alright, now that these pieces are dry, I'm gonna start painting them. Same nutmeg brown, and then we go into it with the washing and then the dry brushing. So everything's dry. So again, like I always say in my videos, there's no real method to the madness as long as you know the 4 foundations. You know, you prime, base coat, dry brush, and then black wash. And then the dry brush and the black wash, you can keep going back and forth with that. So start with the dry brush. Gonna use this almond to give these elements a little bit of a highlight. And the secret to the dry brushing, believe it or not, is dabbing it on paper. So got some paint here, some of that warm buff. Gonna dab it, right? And we could lightly bring out those accents on a consistent brown, right? It's like stained with black. That's from the primer. To give it a little bit of fadeness, a little bit of like corrosion going on, and then when you start dry brushing it, it starts now evening everything out and kind of bring everything else together. Okay, look at that. So we're gonna be doing a wash. It's gonna be like a dark brown. So got some brown, got some water, a little dab of black, because black definitely takes over. Let's mix it. Let's see what I get. Alright, so it's a junkyard, so that the ground is not perfect, right? It's not pretty. So I was looking at it and it was looking good, but it was starting to look more rocky. So came back, started to add sand, and I'm just kind of doing like a gradient from the center to the edge. And it's really just to when you look at the reference, it's it's a bit like sand in a way, like dirty sand. So there's supposed to be some imprints. So I'm gonna seal this, and then once it's done sealing, I'm gonna paint over it and blend this in part. So we gotta now seal it again with that Mosh Posh with water, so it could glue everything down. And next up is the lamp. So I found this guy right here. I was like, oh, this will be perfect. It already has a hinge, so I could just gotta take off this plastic part. That's what I need. Alright, so I got my Drupal, and I'm gonna start making this hole bigger here. So alright, so let's check it out. Boom. Like this high. Alright, I'm gonna glue that piece onto the base of that. Alright. Yeah, we got success. We need to be able to hang this. I'm going to be using a coat hanger. Maybe up to here. I'll cut up to here just to be safe. Got my Drupal. Okay. So now I have a hook. And boom, we got a lamp, folks. I think I'm gonna use epoxy to make the top part, so that this looks. Okay. Mixing A and B, same amount. Put it together. It starts activating, and you have a good like 8-hour window before it hardens. There we go. So I'm gonna let it dry, and then I'll paint it chrome and rust it up, and I think we'll be good. I want to introduce you guys to this wax. There's sheets of wax, right? And you could actually mold this however you want. Now, I went ahead and cut a little strip. This lamp is being is bolted to the piece of wood by a silver plate. I could paint it chrome and give it some rust, so it gives it that feel that is bolted by a metal plate. So I'm gonna put it like that, and then I want to press the wax to the wood. Same in painting, and it's already looking dope. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do with this. It's nice and dry. Now it's time to prime. So it's painted gray. Gonna just start playing with it by doing some dry brushing, staining it. Let's see what we get out of here. Use that same wash. Adding the stains. Next up is the light. This light is white, and I want it to be more on the yellow side. I'm gonna paint that glass, so I'm gonna use my Prisma marker. Give this light bulb a tint. Let's see if it works. The light's shining now yellow instead of white, so that's good. Booyah. Alright, next one is the rope. Now the rope, this is too bright, so I'm thinking about dipping it in the wash. And, gonna let it dry and see where the outcome comes out of this. It may not be as dark as it looks right now because it's wet, but when it dries up, it probably won't be as black. You know, we're in the junk here, right? So got a paper bag, ripped it, scrunched it up, and then we're gonna rip some pieces to make. It's time to tie him up.
Look, it's Raph.
Yeah, a little too Raph. You guys, tie it off.
Why did you just rip my lips off? You think it's... Here, let me get this first.
Da, 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 da. Here you go, guys. Here is my little 2 Raph diorama. And NECA has given us this accessory kit, and this head right here gave us the opportunity to actually build this, you know, moment from our favorite movie, Ninja Turtles Part 2, Secret of the Use. Now, I can say this too though, you know, like we don't need the accessory pack to build this scene, you know, because we could just really just put tape on the turtles that we have already. But also NECA has released the Secret of the Use version of the turtles, so it's just, you know, happened to be just a coincidence to be able to put this together, especially that they're selling it like that. So put the Raphael head, got the new body, and I think a lot of us, now that we got this, has attempted to build this diorama. I've seen it go right, you know, it's been a trend right now going on. I see some of my boys, you know, out there doing their version. I see some in the community, and man, there's a lot of creative different versions. So it's just fun to see that this figure and these accessories that are coming out are inspiring us to make these really classic scenes in the movie be part of our collection. So, but yeah, I went with the circular base. It's wood, you know, screwed it to this you know, like this the staff from a broom, and then basically just painted it. And I think the most complex part was the light. I was lucky enough to find this suction cup that from a dollar store, and then I have these lights that I've used from previous projects, a coat hanger, and boom, we got a light. I made it like this just because I know that I'm gonna have to change the batteries when they run out of anything, so I could definitely, you know, just change them and just turn it on and off whenever I want to see it. So look at that, like that just really adds to the scene. Nice shadows, you know, really brings that scene to life. Now I went with the bigger base. Why? Because I want to add to this, if I choose to, you know, especially with photography, I want to be able to add like Donnie. He's there like about to take off his tape, put his like bow staff on the floor, and I have some oil barrels right here, so I could definitely add it to the back scene here, where if you notice there's some scenes where they show this barrel with fire. I was thinking about putting it, but I really don't want to take away from what this scene is really about. It's really about Raph being tied up, so it could work, you know, depending on how big you build the dial, right? And you could definitely add it to this, but I just prefer it like this. You know, I have some people I've seen it with more junkyard stuff from the junkyard, wheels, and man, it really adds to the scene. So I want to really keep it this simple, where it's just these two or just Raph, and yeah. So it's pretty cool diorama. It's really simple for those that are really just trying to get into it. I'm using different materials than what I'm usually using, but these are things that you can find anywhere in your house or just scrap pieces. And if you have paint, great, you know. But it's a really simple piece. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something new. Guys, I'll be posting more frequently. Got some new ideas coming up, some new projects coming in the future, and definitely want to start working on this new journey of chapter 3 of my channel. Please feel free to write a comment, hit that like button, and please subscribe if you haven't. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.